Welcome back to another episode of the Healthy with Heartland podcast. I am your host, Justin, from my basement office this morning, also joined by your favorite creative directors, Simon and Shannon. Today, we are going to be talking about environmental toxins, specifically air quality. And this is, in my opinion, the number one thing that most people do not address in their health and wellness game, and it could be the most important. So before we get into that topic, let's send it over to Shannon and Simon for some announcements.
Awesome. Welcome back, Heartland family. It's good to see you again this morning. If you're not already, make sure you are following us on our Facebook page. Make sure to check out our new Heartland Foodies group. Become a part of that. Make sure you're checking us out on YouTube so you can see all of our full podcast episode recaps, as well as Instagram, where we post some small clips of the podcast, as well as awesome food photos and recipes. We'd love to see you there as well. If you are a Heartland customer, we can get you restocked from home without the hassle. So this month, until the end of the month, you can get a free hickory smoked bone-in ham absolutely free with your reorder. So make sure you take advantage of that. We just briefly mentioned the Heartland Foodies group. Make sure you become a member of that group so you can see all the awesome community around Heartland Foods, recipes, tips, tricks, and tools. And when we reach over 5,000 members, we're going to give away an awesome prize, a month of free food. So please stay tuned for that, become a part of that. And as you are now, make sure you check in every Thursday with us on the Heartland page to see us at 9:30 a.m. for our live podcast. And with that, let's get into the episode.
All right, this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's start with why we even need to address environmental toxins. So everybody kind of knows, eating food, drinking water, those things need to be clean, but we don't really think about the things that we absorb through our skin, through our nose, when we breathe, right? So cleanliness needs to not only be the food that you eat, the water that you drink, but also what you're inhaling and exhaling all day long. So that's why we're going to talk about air quality today. So I'm going to give you stats and just dialogue right from the Environmental Protection Agency. Indoor air pollution is one of the greatest threats to public health of all environmental problems. People spend up to 90% of their time indoors, and indoor air may be up to 100 times more polluted than outdoor air. Wow. And specifically right now during a pandemic, we're all at home, right? We're all spending probably 99% of our time indoors.
Definitely. Yeah, I was just about to say we're probably spending more time than we normally would in our homes. So having clean air will improve a myriad of functions: brain function, concentration, learning, sleep, of course, your respiratory health, and can reduce any allergies. So people who get allergies seasonally, it can also help improve those things as well.
Absolutely. And I can say from personal experience, I'm allergic to everything, including the dog that I live with. I'm allergic to the pollen that's in the air every year. Like this time right now, this is when the pollen's starting to come out. So if you're one of those people that's getting allergy attacked right now, this will really, really help you. And then on the winter side of things, dust mites. Here's another fact for you that's disgusting. Dust mites excrete a highly fecal toxic matter that can cause allergies and asthma. More than 42,000 dust mites can be found in a single ounce of dust. This is in our homes.
Wow, yeah. It says each day we breathe in 2 heaping tablespoons full of pollutants. Like, I can't even imagine that.
Yep. Wow. And I can say from personal experience, once I addressed the indoor air quality several years ago, I have had literally no sinus infections since. I used to have them every season with the pollen coming out and then the dust mites in the winter. I mean, I was living pretty miserably, and I think a lot of people are, and they don't realize that it's a simple fix, just cleaning your indoor air.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Pretty wild stuff. Right. So that's just on the allergy side of things. Let's talk about all the other things that you're exposing yourself to in your home that you probably don't even think about. So here's a long list of airborne pollutants that are just going to be in your house from a lot of different things. Pesticides, household chemicals, fabrics. Let's talk about that. When you get furniture, right? All of the furniture that comes in, these things off-gas chemicals into your house. Volatile organic compounds, VOCs, right? You've got aerosol sprays, your drainage, the toilets, pet dander, chlorine gases from the shower. When your hot water heater heats up that city water, and you smell the chlorine when you're in the shower, that's chlorinated gas coming into your house, and you're going to breathe it in. Yep.
That's awful.
Yep. You get issues from your air conditioning, heating systems. Those are going to just fuel dust mites. So these are really the reasons why you need to address it. So if you're experiencing any of the following things, it's because of your indoor air quality. If you have eye, nose, throat, lung irritations, asthma, allergy symptoms, sneezing, wheezing, colds and flu, headaches and fatigue, all of these things, of course, it's not a perfect science, but you can really reduce your risk for all of that just by cleaning the air.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep. So with that being said, how do we fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that's what a lot of people are wondering is what are ways that you can help solve this issue, you know, especially if you're going to be at home more often and these things are obviously, as we just learned, they're in your home already. You know, what are things we can do to kind of combat those?
Yeah, so you see next to me here, this is the Carico Deluxe Air Purifier. It's good for most homes for one floor. It'll clean 1,800 square feet twice per hour. It is a lifetime warranty product, and it's designed to be on 100% of the time. So, you know, these units, I have 3 of them in the house. You know, we do have a compact version for bedrooms. I don't skimp on that. I put the full-size unit right in the bedroom. You know, you're going to sleep 8 hours a night in that air. So I want it as pristine as possible. But 1,800 square foot twice per hour, and it's going to address the 3 main contaminant groups. We'll get into the stages of the filters in a minute, but particulate matter is number 1. Most air purifiers handle this. We're talking dust, dead skin, fibers, animal, human hair, things that you can, you know, visibly see, or that are kind of like when you see the light shining in, and sometimes you can see all those particles. That's what particulate matter is. Now, this purifier here filters down 5 times smaller than a human hair. So we're talking molds, viruses, fungus, bacteria. All of that's going to be removed from the air, including VOCs, which is the 3rd contaminant group. This is the off-gassing from furniture, carpets, wall covering materials, paints, pesticides, household chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff is going to get removed.
Wow.
And it's done through 5 technologies, which you see on the right side of the screen there: capture, microbial control, neutralization, absorption, ionization, and oxidation.
Right.
So, yes, let's get into the stages of the filters and how that actually takes place.
Okay.
And Justin, right before you get in, Heather Verone says she loves her air purifier.
Yes, if you have one, if you already have the Carico air purifiers, definitely throw some feedback into the comments. Tell us how you're enjoying them and how it's helped you.
Yep.
All right.
Let's talk about the stages, Justin.
Okay. Technology 1 is capture. So that first polyweb electrostatic pre-filter, that's going to be the big stuff, right? Particulate matter, dust, lint. That's what, you know, if you find these cheap air purifiers, that's what they do, and that's about it. So going on past that, you know, we've got 9 more stages past any other air purification system that you can buy for the home. So stage 2 is stopping particles down to 15 microns. That's also the pre-filter for the water system, right? So taking out that stuff through woven polyester. Stage 3 is the PureTech pre-filter. That's going to go down to 10 microns. So basically what these kind of stages are doing is they're basically prepping for the stages that really get down to the small particles. So we don't want to overload the next stages of the filter. So that's basically what 1, 2, and 3 are doing. Stage 4 is going to bond and grip to 5 micron size particles. This is your dander, bacteria even, and more dust. So by the time we get past that micro grip filter, we're pretty much taking out anything visible, anything that you would, you know, sweep up, dust, things like that collect in your house. Stage 5 is where it gets intense. So this is the Hepa filter, which removes 99% of particles down to 0.3 microns. This includes mold, viruses, yes, coronavirus, bacteria, all that stuff. And that's hospital grade right there, which Shannon's going to give us some more info on that in a bit. Yep. Stage 6, the antimicrobial filter. This is going to take all those microorganisms, capture them, and destroy them. Stage 7, the Gwmx filter, which is woven carbon. This is going to take out things like toxic gases, the chemicals that off-gas from furniture, mattresses, things like that. And this is actually used as a defense against germ warfare. So pretty intense filtration going on here.
Wow.
Stage 8 is the high capacity activated carbon, which is going to absorb gases, chemicals, smoke, cooking odors, which is great. If you cook fish in the house, this is going to help remove that smell very quickly. And then stage 9 is freshening the air that comes out the other side, which is ionization. It basically uses electrostatic charges, kind of gives you the same energy you feel during a thunderstorm when you smell that kind of ozone smell. So the technology does have ozone, which you can turn on and off. It has a low setting, a high setting, which you can choose to use that or not. And then stage 10 is deodorizing germ, eliminating activated oxygen. So what creating that activated oxygen does, it just penetrates the air. So when it goes back into the room, you're going to attack gases, odors, and eliminate virtually everything from bacteria, viruses, molds, mildew spores, talking fungus, odors. So it's not only going to clean the air that comes into the unit, but it's also going to clean the air that is in the room, which is where this filtration is unique. There's nothing else on the market that cleans the air that comes into the unit and also cleans the air in the room.
Wow. So not only is it purifying the air that it's pulling in, you're saying the air that it's blowing back out is actually going to be helping the rest of the air in the room.
Yep. Especially if you're using the ozone. I mean, that will go. And so for instance, at the gym I go to, Dave Shuttler has 2 of these units in there, and he keeps the ozone running full time because when the ozone goes into the room, it actually not only kills the viruses that are in the air, but also on surfaces. So, you can walk around the gym all day with sanitization, spray it, clean it. But, if you can do it through air quality and just have the air literally cleaning everything all the time, you're not going to have a safer workout environment. So I feel completely comfortable going to the gym there. And of course, you still sanitize on top of that just to be extra safe. But it's just nice to know that you can put that into the air and it's literally killing all viruses, keeping the air clean. We have several of them at the offices and at the corporate office, so we're always keeping the air clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what the craziest part is, they say, according to the EPA, the levels of indoor air pollutants are 2 to 5 times higher than outdoor levels. So as we're spending more time indoors at home, like we're more susceptible to these, VOCs and pet dander and all these things that are in the air. So if you're not doing that, I mean, how much right now worse off are you when you used to be spending so much time outside, doing your exercising or whatever you were doing outside. Now you're more susceptible because you're staying inside more, 2 to 5 times more susceptible than outdoor levels. Super interesting. So
yeah, definitely
need to be cleaning the air.
Yeah. And you can also, on this unit, decide, how intense you want it to be. So like right now I have it on the lowest setting. You can't even hear it. So, when I go to bed at night, I put it there and I put it on sleep mode. So all the lights turn off. It's very quiet. So you're still getting the air cleaned without it bothering your sleep. Now I'm going to turn it all the way up. Hopefully you can hear that on the other end.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's pretty intense. So if you've got, smell in the house that you're trying to eliminate, throw on the ozone, turn it all the way up, crank it. I mean, you're going to be cleansing the air extremely quickly. And then it has all different settings in between, so you can, have your desired level of purification. During the day, I keep the units kind of like 50% right up the middle, so it's not too loud. You don't really hear it, but it's still getting a pretty intense clean.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I think, and too, this might be a good time to kind of touch back on what Justin was speaking of. The air purifiers being basically medically grade certified. So the HEPA filters, which most people are looking for when you are looking for the for any air purification, it's not very common to find. So that's one thing that this does offer. There's a ton of benefits to it being certified in that way. So removing significant bacteria, germs, viruses, odors, we talked about that, and especially now more than ever, that's super important. Allergens, asthma triggers, so things that actually can trigger those getting inflamed, either your allergies or asthma issues. Smoke, VOCs, the volatile organic compounds, which you talked about, they can cause a variety of health issues. So preventing this is just like another step that you can take, not breathing those in, not having those in your environment. Reduces levels of carbon dioxide in your home, which sometimes can lead to dizziness and fatigue. And then it also addresses all three types of contaminants, which Justin mentioned. So particulate, VOCs, and bioaerosols. So it's really the most effective clean. It also uses that activated oxygen feature, which you really will not find. So it neutralizes the viruses, bacteria, mold, and germs. And I just don't think we could talk about the benefits of that, more, because it's super, super important.
I'd just like to give a couple of shout outs. We have Rebecca Neal watching, Lori's watching, Thomas Blunt is watching, Janice Giuseppe is watching, Antler is watching, Amy is watching. Hello, everyone. Liz is watching. I just want to say, appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions on air filtration, definitely mention them in the comments or any questions at all. And then Chen, real quick, just so you guys, know what HEPA is, because we talked about these HEPA air filters and that kind of stuff. It's an acronym for High Efficiency Particulate Air Filter. So.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for the clarification on
there
that.
There you go. Right. But yeah, so.
Yep, as is everything with Heartland. It's all about quality.
That's right.
There you go.
So yeah, going on from, the Caracal air filter,
Simon?
if we want to. Jumping back into the Caracal air filter, I know you have that one, Justin, that's right behind you. I guess you already turned it up. You kind of showed everybody the ozone and that kind of thing. So,
Justin, I guess I have a question. So if you ever go on like vacation or you're not home for a while, is it something that you can leave? I know you said you do leave it running often, but is it something that you could leave running for like a period of days and then come home and know that your house is going to be already clean and waiting for you?
Yes, literally, they don't get turned off.
Okay.
They don't get turned off. You can turn them off, like if you're one of those, people that like when they leave the house, like if it's going to cause you anxiety because something's on in your house, you can turn it off, but it's completely safe. I run it 24/7, and the ozone for some people, when you breathe it in, it's not dangerous, but it could give you a slight headache. So some people, what they like to do is the ozone has a timer. You can put it on 15 minutes, 30, 45 hours, run it full time. So what you can do is if you're going out to dinner and you want to like really do a deep clean in the house, or you're leaving for a few hours, you can turn the ozone on a timer. It'll clean all the air, go through your ducts. It even cleans your HVAC system. Mm-hmm. And when you come home, it'll be off and you won't have to smell it, and your air will be nice and perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then we have another question, Justin, from Heather. She said, how long are the filters good for?
So it depends on the load on the filter. So if you have a lot of pets, it's going to be faster as far as how often you have to clean it. There's a little light here, the filter light, that's going to light up when it's time to clean the unit. So what you can do to extend the shelf life of the filters, because there's two filters in here. When you open it up, there's a pre-filter and then there's the 10 stage, right? So the first one you pull off, you can just vacuum that and then throw it back in. You can vacuum the other cartridge too and extend the life that way, throw it back in. But typically we're talking about a 1 to 2 year shelf life on the filters. And that's with cleaning them when the light comes on. And I've seen it go, me personally, as long as 3 years, but I would say 2 years is probably the max shelf life for the filters.
Okay.
Got it.
And then I know you had it running there, but Liz would like to know how loud is it? I mean, when you were playing it there, it seemed like it was pretty strong, but it wasn't too loud. Can you sleep with it?
Oh yeah. So, and it has all those different settings. So if you turn it all the way down on low, it's designed so that you don't hear it at all. So you'll still get, slow cleaning of the air in the room while you sleep. Some people, like, I don't mind putting it on level 3 and I can still sleep. I hear it a little bit. But yeah, if you crank it all the way up, you're going to hear it. It's not as loud as a vacuum, but it's I would say half as loud as a vacuum when you crank it all the way up.
Okay. And then Thomas is saying, he has one of the air purifiers from Heartland, but where can he get another one?
Get it from us.
That's right.
Send me a message, or I can reach out to you, and we'll hook you up.
Awesome.
Definitely.
That's perfect. Yep.
So what's our giveaway today?
So we have a giveaway. We're going to be giving away, as I'm sure if you guys have been tuning in, we have an awesome cookbook and a Heartland cooler bag, which we will be sending out for our lucky winner who's been tuning in today. So right now, if you're watching, make sure you go ahead, like this podcast, tag a friend in the comments below, and share the podcast, and you'll be entered in to win our prize for today, which I think we'll be giving away shortly. And with that, if you're just tuning in and you are a Heartland customer, you're welcome to place your reorder. You get an awesome special if you place your reorder before the end of the month this month. So before March 31st, you'll get a hickory smoked bone-in ham absolutely free with your order. So make sure to take advantage of that. And if you have any questions about Heartland's air purification systems, the products that we offer that can help you and your family clean your air, definitely send Justin a private message. Reach out to us, 800-492-5592, or you can visit our website at heartlandfoods.com.
Beautiful.
All right.
Do we have a winner?
And drum roll. And the winner is
Liz.
Liz, congratulations.
All right.
Awesome. So you are our lucky winner. We'll make sure to get that awesome prize out to you as soon as possible. If you guys are tuning in now, thank you so much. Make sure to tune in next week. We have a podcast every week, Thursday, 9:30 a.m. on the Heartland page. You can also find all those podcast recaps on our YouTube page, and we will be putting out some special clips during the week in case you missed that episode.
That's right.
Any other special comments, questions? Anything, Justin, you'd like to add before we go ahead and send our lovely crowd off?
Yeah, I would just like to say, air and water, it's just the two most neglected things because it's not a problem you can see, and you can kind of put food in that category too. Like when you look at a chicken breast, you're not going to be able to see that supply chain, how it was farmed, how the animal was treated, how it was processed. It's the same thing with addressing your environmental toxins. Unfortunately, it's not something you can see. However, if you're curious and you want some proof, we can do air test, we can do water test. It's amazing. We have this air tester that looks at parts per million, super small microns, and I can put it in the room and it'll be thousands and thousands of particles that it's reading, and then stick it right over top of the Caraco air purifier, and it will reduce to zero. So if you need some proof, that's something I can do for you. But if you are struggling at all with seasonal allergies, if there's anyone in the house with asthma, or you just don't want to put a toxic load on yourself, let's address these problems. You won't regret it.
Absolutely.
Well said, Justin. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in, and you can go ahead and send us off.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Heartland family. Every Thursday, 9:30 a.m., we'll be doing another one of these. It's great to see you all today. Hope you're enjoying the weather, getting a little bit warmer here. And with that being said, stay healthy with Heartland.